Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV's Week 13 special event. We've got a combination of events today, two in the Mazda at Tsukuba, newly released circuit, and then the other newly released circuit, Charlotte Road Course in the Radical will be raced. It's going to be a crazy event. I'm joined alongside by Marco Barbier, myself being Sam Fitzpatrick. And Marco, these two circuits are quite different. I've had some laps around both. One of them I'm not a big fan of, but Tsukuba, it's got a superb flow. That's what we're going to be starting off in. And I'm sure lots of people have got a lot of history around this circuit in the Mazda on Gran Turismo 5, for example. Certainly I do. And yeah, it's just it's a classic club circuit, this.
Exactly, one of the staples of the console gaming, both in Gran Turismo and I think also in Forza Motorsport as well. Finally came into iRacing after a very long wait, because this has been scanned a long time ago. A perfect track for these cars. Two races here, one in this configuration and one in the motorcycle configuration, if I'm not mistaken. And look at that beautiful sky as we get ready, Sam, to go through the starting grid for this first race of the evening.
Yes, this is an evening one. Did I set it to evening? I'm not sure. This is going to be a morning one. Anyway, Jamie Ayres is on pole position for this race one. Johnny Brendan starts in second place. It's Nicole Foggy in third, Steve Hefford in fourth, and it's Richard Haynes rounding out the top five. Behind that is McCain, Van Gool, Stevens, and then it's McNally and Mears rounding out the top 10. The rest of the bill will be going through for you now. Quite a dark circuit this. Honestly, I didn't mean it to be this dark, but here we are. And of course, fantastic day night. Good that we're showing it off today, and we are really looking forward to this. And we don't really know what's going to happen. Of course, race 2 is going to be a random reverse of race 1. We get to see the spinny wheel today, which is fantastic. And then race 3 will be the actual finishing order of race 1. Should give us a good comparison between the two kind of formats. Be quite interested to see if anyone can really, up their game from track to track, from kart to kart. Got a couple more drivers just to get onto the grid. Nicole Foggy and Kip Stevens, but we were very pleased to have 20 cars on the grid today. And
nice to see, Sam, all the lights, beautiful work they done on the lights and the reflections on the cars, and I think we are ready to start.
Yep, here we go. Into the night re-race. Jamie Ayres on pole position. And he gets a decent start. Are we going to see any incidents behind it? It's almost side by side going into turn 1 between second and third, but just pulling ahead is Joey Brandon. Nicole Foggy and Steve Hefford side by side and going very wide there, and maybe just losing out, I think, was Foggy. Maybe losing one position to his rival. He's down to 4. Now it's going to be so difficult to overtake around this place, as we've got a car off in the background. We've got another one off 3 wide into that corner. Does not work seemingly. And already a couple of casualties. But like I said, overtaking around this place is really difficult. You want to get some moves done in these opening stages. And right now, the driver on the attack is Steve Hefford as he goes to the outside of his rival.
Great start. A little bit of chaos in the back, but it was expected, I think. There's a guy with a slowdown, I think. And somebody hit very hard. That's John
86.
Roberts. And Brandon as well is around, so everything is happening on the backstretch here as the cars go into the final corner. Very narrow track, and it cut out some of the very top guys also, because like we just seen, it was Johnny Brandon who was involved and lost a lot of time, and I think he's in the back of the pack. Yes,
V8 Supercar champion, of course. And also did very well yesterday, I hear, as well, in a crazy event that was. This one not too sane itself. Currently, the top 3 just pulling away from the rest of the field. But yeah, just to go through the casualties, seemingly, Ainsworth, Key, and Brandon, along with Lundgren as well. So those 4 guys right to the rear of the field. And Ben Mears just goes ahead of Kip Stevens. Stevens just getting a bit of a poor exit there. And this hairpin's going to be a real opportunity for these drivers to make some moves.
So, Sam, if I'm not mistaken, you devised the rules for this event, and you decided that the finishing order of this race is going to determine the starting grid for the third race at Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I think that should make sense. Yeah, I don't think anyone else has ever tried that idea, but yeah, it should compare the speed really well, I think, between the two formats. And of course, race 2, that's going to be a random reverse, so you're going to see plenty of overtaking, but currently, field just spreading out a little bit. Steve Pepper's charge of the opening lap or so as we see the sun setting. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, we don't have to really say how good these new transitions are as we've got side by side for 4th and 5th. McNally versus Van Gool. And just getting a little bit out of shape there was Adam McNally, and Pete Van Gool, after starting in 7th place, is up into the top 4.
Now, is the sun rising or setting? Because I have no idea.
Setting.
But is it set? Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, I think these new sky boxes look absolutely fantastic. And I was talking with Alex yesterday during the V8 Race of Champions that it's absolutely gorgeous to see the sun there, and then 1 minute later the clouds come into play, and you don't get like you get all the shadows on the track, they disappear, and then the clouds move away. You get these beautiful sunsets. It is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. And also, of course, a lot of other drivers, I imagine in this series, probably not, but of course I did DGFX yesterday, and the track temperature change you can get, from a morning race to an afternoon race, the track actually changes within about an hour by about, 20 degrees upwards. It's absolutely incredible. So got side by side, and maybe just taking advantage of this is Nicole Foggy. He sees maybe some prey for him to attack, and he's going to try to go side by side with his rival, but he didn't quite get the exit he needed. And now, from defense to attack for Steve Pepper. And he's right on the tail of Jamie as he's just been a little bit hairy these past few corners, and he's under big pressure now. It's so many hairpins around this circuit. It's all about making those lunges at the top 3. Line astern. As looks to the inside, is that an attack or a defense? I know who is going to attack. Nicole Foggy down the inside of his rival, past Steve Hefford, and Hefford's going to be pushed out there and almost seizing the car. So Foggy back up into 2nd place.
Fantastic stuff from Foggy, and that was a great move. And now he's, of course, aiming towards Jamie Ayres. Oh, he loses the car. Great save by Jamie Ayres there. It was centimeters away from disaster. Great save by the Momo guy.
Absolutely superb, wasn't it? Oh, he's looked to the inside, has Nicole Foggy. He's now the man on the charge, no doubt, although he hasn't got a superb exit. And you know what? Only 1.5 tenths behind is Steve Hefford. The other guys are going to be getting into this mix as well. As he looks to the outside now, does Steve Hefford. You can go round the outside into this final corner, but he's just backed out of it, maybe even looking to get a cutback. Maybe just dropped a little bit too far back. I don't think he has, actually, because he's got a brilliant exit there. And he looks to the inside. Foggy covers it off, though. Wide entry to turn 1. And he found himself on the inside on the last lap. And once again, Steve Hefford has lost out here at turn 1.
Great battle also in the back. You see it's brewing between Van Gool and McNally. We'll move there when there's a little bit more spice, because right now the action is here at the front. Also, one thing I noticed, and speaking of, that was Van Gool sideways and losing a position, and McNally moves into P4. One thing I noticed during free practice earlier, which was done in, it was 12 o'clock, so middle of the day, no clouds in the sky. They talked about, and I noticed yesterday as well, the new reflections of the sunlight that they did together with these new skies. They are fantastic, and the Momo livery looks absolutely amazing. I thought they had a new livery, but it's still, I think, the old livery with Jamie Ayres.
Wow, off into Suzuka, I think there, he was so wide. And, well, yeah, he didn't lose much time, though. That Mazda, clearly a good off-road vehicle, because he's still got 3.5 tenths to Nicole Foggy, but Foggy looking the faster out of the two of them currently, as he gets right up onto the back bumper of the leader. Absolutely, these transitions absolutely look superb. And we're very looking forward to seeing more races like this. We're unsure how each league is going to exploit these changes. I think in the Euro we've already been said, we're going to use the 8 times transition. which means that, yeah, of course, you know, a day can pass in just 3 hours, which is pretty cool. As there's didn't get a good exit. Is Foggy going to look to the inside into the final corner? Taking a really wide line there, Jamie Ayres, and he might just give his rival the opening that he needs. Nico Foggy on the inside and into the lead now, and actually could lose 2 positions here. Could the former race leader, but Foggy hasn't got the job done yet. But he's so good at that turn 1, and he's gone from 3rd to 1st in just a few laps.
Great stuff here as Ayres responds on the outside. Foggy will have the inside. Brakes glowing in the dusk as they are once again side by side. Now Ayres has got the inside. A little bit of door banging. Fantastic stuff between these two guys. Effort is ready to...
Oh! And into the wall. He's going to be able to get back going, I think. The 66 car, but he's lost a lot of position. He's down into 8th place now. Could maybe make a couple of places up. He's still got 5 minutes to go. Or 8 minutes to go, sorry. But that's not what he needed whatsoever.
I think that there was a very, very light contact between these two guys. Let's see a replay. Yeah, there wasn't much of a contact, if anything at all, because they were, you know, side by side. So bad luck for Nicole Foggy there.
Yeah, just had to kind of turn the car so much.
Where is Effort? Oh man, Effort
He's still there, isn't he? Oh no!
He's in the grass with big damage to his car. Crabbing wildly.
Going past. Oh dear, Steve Hefford. And let's see how this so was side by side for the lead. Hefford down the inside, he took the lead twice on that lap then. Ayres lost the race lead, and as he dropped it straight afterwards, yes, he has. Oh, there's an invisible wall there.
Oh dear.
I did see that during testing. There's a few invisible walls around here, and that's really caught them out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought they were closer to the walls then than that, but I saw one at turn 1 certainly, but it's only a couple of meters away from the actual wall. That's, well, hopefully, that's not going to be a permanent stay. Hopefully, that's only temporary. So that's very unique for iRacing circuits to have that.
So in the span of half a lap, we lost 2 of the 3 leaders, and this will leave Jamie Ayres, you see, in the front of the pack with Adam McNally in 2nd. The gap between the two is 2.3 seconds, so looking very, very good for a race win for the Momo driver. Van Gool now finds himself into a podium position with Benjamin Mews and Richard Wormingham rounding up the top 5.
Yeah, warming up at Wormingham. Bloody hell, speak. Up 7 places so far. Benjamin Mears up 6, and then Van Gool up 4, and then McNally up 7 himself. What a drive this has been. Plenty of good drives out there so far. Nicole Foggy in 7th place currently. And I think he's quite close. We've got a nice little three-way battle actually between Wormingham, Haynes, and Foggy, I believe, as they go side by side here. Richard Haynes trying to get the move done on Richard Wormingham. Nicole Foggy just watching this one. He's going to be looking to get past both of these guys by the close of this race. But Wormingham just about hanging on to that place currently. Going to have to go defensive here. And are the XVR teammates going to be able to work something a little bit special here to try to benefit themselves? Wormingham on the inside. Is he going to be able to push his rival out? I don't think he is going to, because that's a superb move from Richard Haynes round the outside. And he's now going to have the position, I think. And Foggy, I think, will be soon past his teammate as well.
At the front, 1.7 seconds between Ayres and McNally with only 4 minutes left. So McNally needs to put in some fantastic laps if he wants to close the gap to the leader and maybe go for a race win and the pole position in race 3. And also there's Van Gool, of course, putting some pressure on Adam McNally there as we go back to the battle for 5th place and backwards, because it seemed like the two XVR drivers were going to be able to make quick work of Richard Haynes, but that has not been the case, and he is still holding the 5th position.
Yeah, very impressively so. If they stop fighting amongst each other, they could probably get Ben Mears by the end of this race. Mears doesn't seem to have the most extraordinary pace as Foggy goes on the inside of Wormingham. Now, XVR, they do sometimes use some team orders, or they're very kind to one another. I don't think Wormingham feels like doing that today. I think he feels like keeping that position for himself. Although, Mark, I have got Nico Poggi down as V-Racer. Is that part of XVR?
I have no idea, but I noticed that as well. So we'll know soon enough as everyone goes for a bit of rallycross.
Oh, wow, slow down for Richard Haynes, and he's lost 2 positions.
And
Ah, dear.
Van Gool is in the barriers and he has to tow back to the pits. So a chance of a podium goes begging for Peter Van Gool. And now we've got Ben Mews in 3rd place. Looking extremely safe. Let's see what happened there, because another one of those invisible walls. We'll see. So this is Peter Van Gool, of course.
Ooh.
Oh, bad luck.
Dear.
Bad luck
It was
for
the
Pete.
89 of Anthony Ainsworth who, yeah, hits him. Ainsworth, to be fair to him, straight away got out of the way of everyone else, but that's no satisfaction, I'm sure. And yeah, we'll be really frustrated with that. Boggy passed Warmingham as well, so he's back up into 4th place. Of course, was fighting for the win earlier on. This is properly dark now. Don't know if we could just go on board with these guys. It's not actually too bad, to be fair, but still, that visibility, not awesome for these drivers. As Warmingham, he's lost out to Haynes as well, so a poor lap for Richard Warmingham. You've got Hardy not too far behind either, so they've got to be careful with these guys. As Warmingham, yep, has lost out now, and he's down into 6th place.
Race leader is into his 13th lap, or 14th, I think. Yeah, 14th lap. And I think we'll have this one and one more, since they're lapping around the 1 minute 3 seconds or thereabouts. Let's look at this train of cars here. Hardy, Stevens, Ayres, McLaughlin, Roberts, all jostling for position. And also I forgot to remove the positions gained. They have been there since halfway through the race.
It's good, very interesting. Oh, and actually, is he gonna go through there? That was McGlone just about going through. I think Ayres losing a couple of positions. McGlone going past him there. Sorry, it was Stevens then who got past before, nearly gained 2 positions in a couple of corners, and Ayres is having an awful time of it now, because here comes Roberts down the inside into the hairpin, and he just about gets it stopped. Very nicely done. That is a superb overtaking opportunity, but that's where it leaves you vulnerable. If you don't get a good exit, then you've got this relatively long straight. I guess it's long for this circuit, by far the longest on the track. As the timer ticks down to it, we've got this next lap to come up, and that'll be it for these drivers. Hardy holding on to P7, and what a result that would be for him.
Leader is halfway through his final lap. Jamie Ayres going for the race win, as there's some bumping and banging here between Ayres and Roberts, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just some love taps here and there, as I mean, this track I think will be very, very popular with this kind of cars, because the action has been non-stop since we started the race. A lot of fun all around, and I think we can safely say that Jamie Ayres is going to bring it home in 1st place now.
Yep, in the depths of night pretty much now, Jamie Ayres wins race 1 of this Apex Racing TV special event. Brilliant drive from Anna McNally to finish in 2nd, and Ben Mears will round out the podium. Well, he didn't have superb pace up there, but what a good drive that was for him. Just picked up the pieces of other drivers, the ultimate knock-kill driver. Nico Foggy in 4th, as we've got side-by-side hit, still fighting over 9th and 10th. And just about going through there is McGlone, I think. And is he going to lose another position here with Roberts? As we've got cars all over the place.
What's going on there?
Absolutely crazy. 4 cars crashing across the line. It was McGlone beating Roberts ahead of Ayres in the end.
A massive wreck to end the race. Hopefully they will get the cars sorted before race 2 starts on the bike track in just about 10 to 15 minutes. Time just to get the reverse done.
By the way, the second race won't actually be on the bike. I went back on my word from what I previously said a couple of weeks ago. Because the bike circuit's really bad. That's what I sussed out from it. And the short circuit as well. Not good whatsoever. Whereas this one is just absolutely awesome. So why would we change it? So yeah, one more race on this circuit.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be yeah, good fun. I think we can go through the final results now.
Yes,
Jamie has wins race 1 ahead of Adam McNally in second place. Only 1.7 seconds between the two of them in the end, but we never really got a wheel-to-wheel battle between the two of them. They are going to be starting near the back of the next race, though, so that'll be very interesting. Benjamin Mears finishes in third place. Really well done to him. Nico Foggy in fourth, and Richard Haynes and Richard Warmingham rounding out the top 6. Behind that was Carl Hardy. Kip Stevens, good result in 8th. John McGlone and John Roberts, they had a superb battle, along with David Ayres and Mick Barry. And then in 13th was Alan McCain. Then it was O'Connor, Lundgren, Key, Ainsworth, Van Gool, Heppard, and Brandon rounding out the 20 drivers. And Marco, best point of the broadcast, the only reverse grid of the day.
what what are the rules for the reverse? Is only the guys on the lead lap, or
I haven't made them up. What are we saying? I guess we ought to make these rules before we actually do it. Are we just going to say everyone?
oh yeah,
I
let's do
think that'll be
everyone.
more entertaining, won't it? And
Yeah,
that's what this is all about, yeah.
absolutely. So the wheel should be on your screen right now, and let's roll it. Not many options on this reverse wheel.
There aren't, no. I had no idea how many people would turn up.
You are absolutely right. But still, we get the smallest possible, full -4.
Okay, so not Brandon, not Heppard, not Bengal, not Ainsworth. It's Mickey Key who will be on pole position for race 2, ahead of Robert Lundgren, Lena Connor, and Alan McCain. What a good second race that's going to be. Hopefully you enjoyed race 1, and we'll be back with you basically as soon as I can get the session sorted out. It should be hopefully 25 minutes. But we'll wait and see for race 2 of this Apex Racing TV special event.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing. Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
My name is Steven Corpenos. I'm a senior web developer here at iRacing, and I work on the beta UI. It's funny because iRacing has been around for 10 years, but we want to keep delivering the best possible user experience to our customers, and we've found that the old UI isn't exactly what we're trying to deliver in 2018. We want to use new features and provide the best possible experience when using the sim. One of the projects that I've been working on is some custom heat racing configuration for hosted races. We've been listening to our customers. Everyone's been asking for custom heat races. Maybe you want to tweak a few things with the preset iRacing configurations. Well, now you can using the beta UI. So once you're at the home page of the beta UI, you just go to create a race. Then from there you go to your set race options. And you'll notice here under event types, you can actually choose heat racing. First, I'm going to show you how to create a new format from scratch. You can choose the number of entrants. And as you can see, when I made that change, the change was actually reflected on the right side in the graph. Also, you can use the estimated duration at the bottom of the graph when you're changing the length to see what the total duration of your event will be. In addition, you can customize every aspect of the session information, practice, qualifying, heat races, consolations, and of course, the final feature race. Because the beta UI allows us to develop features that are robust and complex, this feature will be exclusively available on the beta UI. Once you've made all of the changes, you can hit save. Say you forgot what you selected. You can always preview it using the preview format button. We are very excited to release the brand new heat racing configuration feature that will be available in Season 3 of iRacing.
Before you can get on track, you'll need to calibrate your wheel and pedal set. You'll need to do this in iRacing even if you have already done this using your own controller software. Prior to entering the sim, make sure you've downloaded and installed the latest drivers from the manufacturer's website. Once that's done, follow these easy steps to calibrate your controller. We recommend calibrating in a test session, so pick a car and then click test. Don't go into a practice or official session. The last thing you want to do is have you go on track and crash into another car. Once you're in your test session, click on the options button. You will then see input calibration. This is where your calibration takes place. Start by clicking on the steering button. You will then be prompted to turn your wheel fully one direction and then another. Make sure you place your wheel back into its centering position before hitting done. Now, you'll be asked to turn your wheel 90 degrees to the left. Make sure it's at 90 and hold it there while hitting done. For pedals, click on the pedals button. Here you'll be asked to press the throttle all the way down and then release it. You'll do the same for the brake and clutch pedal if you have one. For the gearbox, you'll first be asked to set buttons for sequential shifting. Once complete, a prompt will ask if you have a H pattern shifter. If not, hit no. If yes, click it and you'll begin to map the gears individually. Once you've completed these steps, you are calibrated and ready to go racing.
Last year I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulated test driver.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and our Week 13 special event. Round 2, second race of the day at Tsukuba before we head off to Charlotte Road Course for the final race of the day. And it is the start of the day. It's 4:30 in the morning. Early start for these drivers, seemingly. Very early sunrise here because it's, well, I think it's Japan and May as well. A combination of that. I am Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is Marco Barbner. And yeah, Marco, we saw a really good race 1. A big reverse grid for this race 2 as well. It's going to be really fascinating, this one.
Absolutely, it's going to be another race full of excitement, and the reverse puts an extra wrinkle, I think, on the proceedings. Starting grid should be on your screens right now as Sam takes you through the starting field.
Yes, and it's Mikey Key on pole position with Robert Lundgren on the front row with him. Then it's Lane O'Connor, Alan McCain, Mick Barry, David Ayres, John Roberts, Jordan McLean, and Kip Stevens. And then Carl Hardy rounding out the top 10 race winner of race 1. Jamie Ayres will be starting in 16th place. Watch out for Steve Heppard and Johnny Brandon as well, starting in 19th and 20th places. Although Brandon did disconnect from the session, he is now trying to reconnect though, so he might be a little bit late to the grid. Hopefully he will make it, and in fact, he is now on the grid now. Marco, who are we looking out for in this one then?
I am picking John Roberts for the race win.
Okie doke. John Roberts, okay. That's an ambitious one. I'll go similarly ambitious. I'll go Lane O'Connor for the win. I don't know why. Here we go. I think we're about to get underway here. Race 2 of the evening. Mickey Key from the pole position. And away we go. And he gets a really good start, does the Result Clothing driver. Will Lundgren under pressure from Lane O'Connor just behind there, side by side in second and third with a couple more drivers getting involved as well. We saw some collisions at this stage on the first race, but so far it's okay. But streaking out ahead is Mickey Key. And you can see that brilliant start from Robert Lundgren hanging on to second place. Just losing out there, Lane O'Connor and Alan McCain. Oh, almost being forced off the circuit there is McCain. Robert's only just behind. He's already made up 2 positions. Really on a charge there. And yeah, he's right on the tail of the driver in P4.
I think we lost David Erso. He dropped down the order as Langren, O'Connor, McCain, Roberts all go through after a mistake by Mickey Key.
Yeah, I think he got a slowdown there. I don't know where these drivers are picking up these slowdowns. I didn't pick up any in practice, but clearly it's quite easy to do as we've got second and third side by side, I think. Robert Lundgren, though, in the lead. Alan McCain just getting ahead there of Lane O'Connor. So up 2 positions. McCain really on a charge here. And just behind is John Roberts. Will he go for a move now into P3? He's going to go around the outside. There's almost contact for the lead. And there is contact for the lead. And there's more contact as well. But streaking out into the lead is John Roberts. And he's picked up all those pieces. And he's reconstructed it into a race lead.
Yes, and O'Connor, Barry, McCain, Stevens, the top 5.
Oh, Roberts has
no!
it. Oh dear, and now it's Lane O'Connor. My pick for this race, as Marco's pick goes into the wall. My pick leads this one now, but the whole field are just in a massive queue right now, as Connor has to go defensive here. McCain right on his tail. Who's that going off? I think that might be Ayres, is it? Or Key? No, Keys I think dropped it on the entrance to the hairpin. Dropped a couple of places. It's absolute chaos here. As you can see, all 19 drivers right close to one another. McCain goes for the lead now, past Lane O'Connor, and he's going to beat the leader after 2 laps of racing.
That shot of the cars on the backstretch is absolutely fantastic, and it's very, exciting to see all the guys line astern. As someone disappeared from the front of the pack, I'm trying to understand.
Hardy?
No, Carlardi is there. Someone dropped. We'll have to wait a second and see, because we saw a car disappear and is not reappearing again. So, no!
Round. And that's going to be a lot of contact as well. Anthony Ainsworth getting involved in that one. It was Mickey Key, the pole sitter. Oh, he's made more contact there as well. That's not helped matters. That was the number 9 car of Robert Lundgren getting involved in that one. The 2 drivers. He starts on the front row.
What's happening to the leader?
Puts it in the wall. Oh dear. And now it's Lane O'Connor leading once again. What is going on in this one? O'Connor takes back the lead. We've got almost 4 wide just behind as well. Haynes and McNally, McCain as well with all of his damage, and really dropping down the field now.
Now looks like the former leader McCain is okay, apart from a bit of damage to the front of the car. But this race has been absolutely crazy, and we are only 3 minutes in. And my commentator's curse struck with, earlier.
Oh no!
Oh, and now!
Mine is struck because Lane O'Connor is almost into the wall. Oh dear.
Lane, I'm not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at, our commentator's curse, which is so powerful.
Oh, McNally's going to go for it here.
Yeah.
He's got past Richard Haynes. I think those 2 could definitely win this race. Mick Barry now leading this one. My goodness. Well, you wouldn't rule him out. We've now had, I think we've had 4 leaders losing the race leaders. McCain, who was leading a lap ago, or 2 laps ago, believe it or not. He's in the wall now, though, and looks like his day is over.
Yes. top top 7, 8, I think, all basically Linus Stern, Berry, Stevens, McNally, Haynes, Ayres and Foggy, the top 6 you see on the bottom right of the screen, the battle box, showing, I mean, everyone, I mean, anyone from Mick Barry to, I think, let's say, yeah, Birmingham can win this race, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. Absolutely anyone. Well, we haven't mentioned Kip Stevens in this race here. He's in second place as Haynes has time to go defensive against Ayres. Ayres, winner of race 1. He knows that he can win this one. And, well, he's got that move done. Foggy following through as well. So the big boys are getting to the front now. And one of them is Adam McNally. And he's really putting some pressure on Kip Stevens. Just don't know what to say at this point. It's absolutely chaos. We really cannot predict what's going to happen in this one. As looking to the inside, we've got side by side for second and third, side by side for fourth and fifth as well. As McNally down the inside of Kip Stevens. Stevens tried to cover him off, and in fact, he's done that superbly there. And the driver in second place hangs on to it as McNally just misses a gear there, seemingly. And it's still going to be fine from Haynes, who's under pressure from Ayres as well. They're side by side. Ayres now gets in that move done.
Look at the beautiful sun shining on the hairpin there. Beautiful shots again. Time of day is fantastic. And it's early morning, but these guys... Oh no!
He's not
He saved it!
No,
he saved it! He saved it! You can tell that it's week 13, Sam, because we're seeing some absolutely crazy stuff. These guys are throwing the car. They don't care. They just want to have fun. We saw that yesterday as well in the Euro V8 Race of Champions. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, but that was on dirt. This is on tarmac, and it's still looking like they're driving on ice right now. As Stevens under massive pressure still. He's really helping out Mick Barry. They're not teammates or anything, but he's really giving the race leader a helping hand because of McNally can get it done here. Stevens, though, understeers into his rival. He's desperate to hang on to that position, but now has he relinquished that inside line? And I think he may have done, and this might just be relinquishing second place as well. Stevens so deep on the brakes, and he's finally lost that second position, and now Adam McNally can go chase down Mick Barry.
Barry holding the lead for a few laps. Not something that cannot be said for a lot of drivers. It's Kip Stevens that is disappearing and reappearing constantly, by the way. I just noticed.
Yeah, I just saw that one, and once again he's disappeared. That's not going to help Jamie Ayres too much. But, he's hit him!
Pina!
And now, Kip Stevens has hit. We've got 3 drivers out of the race, seemingly. And, going back across the circuit as well. I hope that there's no more collisions down that back straight. That was absolutely horrendous. Kip Stevens, though, from second place, just a few corners ago, is out of this race now. It's all going on. Mick Barry under big pressure now from Adam McNally. We've still got 7 more minutes in this race to go for him to get this one done.
Yeah, I'm watching too much Turismo Carretera because I'm screaming in Spanish all of a sudden.
So. Barry's under big pressure here. It's only a 10th between the top 2. And here we go. McNally to the inside. It's going to turn into the outside for this one. Barry is not going to give this one up easily, I'm sure. But is he going to be done all the way around the outside? No, trying to get the cut back here. And he's got to cover right to the inside here. He hasn't been able to do so. And now side by side, McNally's got the ideal line. He's got the ideal run as well. As we've got cars off in the on the inside as well. Hopefully they won't play it apart as McNally goes to the inside, makes the corner done.
Yep.
Stevens making a bit of an impact himself there. As, well, we've still got Ayres on the scene as well. And he could certainly challenge the race leader from now to the end of the race. But now it's Adam McNally on lap 9 leading this one.
Great run from Jamie Ayres coming up to the final corner. Now he's pointing straight at Mick Barry. Wants to get moved on quickly halfway through this race into the hairpin on the outside. No way around right now. But a mistake from both of them. Ayres saves it once again and gets the position whilst Barry is struggling, I think. And Efford gets the position as well. And so he's about to do, I think, Richard Haynes.
And just behind that, that's Richard Warmingham. Barely spoken about him either. But yeah, Haynes nearly got that one done. So now top 2, only 1 second between 2 of them. really look forward to seeing those two go at it. Of course, still got another race. We've got half an hour race at Charlotte Road Course later on. I did make this race. I ought to know what the racetracks are.
I am absolutely dreading the thought of that first corner. With the way these guys are driving. Not that I'm complaining, because they are putting on a fantastic show.
Oh, Stevens is getting involved in this one. This is a bit naughty from Kip. And he's holding up Adam McNally
He's
a
going
bit.
to get pushed out of the way, I think, sooner rather than later. No protests, of course, in this race.
Oh, there's going to be contact between the top two, just about hanging on. I think I might have to do something about Kip here.
I told you.
And into the wall.
No!
Oh, we've got another incident as well.
Effort. Into the wall. Car is destroyed. Race over for him.
Oh, dear.
Race control couldn't intervene quick enough. Because
I know, I was about 5 seconds there. I just, disqualified Kip. But unfortunately, it was a bit too late.
The problem when race control is also doing commentary and setting up the race, we only have two ends. Although I shall tell you that there are some programs which, free program by the way, which you can control the race control stuff straight from your phone or tablet with a touch screen.
Oh, wow.
Super
Wait,
cool.
seriously?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you more in the commercial break.
I might need it for next race, I think. Especially if Kip is around again. Or
Battle
maybe
for
a
the
couple
lead.
of others. But we'll see. Adam McNally still leading the way. He's under big pressure from Jamie Ayres. Only half a second between the pair of them currently. And it's all about just defending. It's not an easy circuit to overtake this, but as you can see, wide turn one. It's a big braking spot as well. So there's an opportunity for a dive. And there's a couple of other places as well later on in the circuit. Maybe this one, but it's quite narrow here. As he looks to the inside here, McNally gives him a chance on the inside and just about couldn't get it done, Jamie Ayres.
You can probably hear my dog in the background.
No, we couldn't hear it at all.
Good enough.
You shouldn't have mentioned that. But still top two, pulling away a little bit. 30 seconds ahead of third and fourth. Don't know if we could just go to TV2 for a second, Marco. I did make this cam pack, so I'm very fond of it. I want to properly show off my lack of talent. As, yeah, McKnight still leading the way. Really close between Haynes and Barry, by the way. That's for third and fourth. It's difficult to track each one of these drivers' races. But so we can't just go look at the result. As down the inside here, could have a change for the lead. Just giving enough spaces. Adam McNally. And he's just about hanging on against Jamie Ayres. That's going to probably be Ayres' best chance, but actually, this is going to be a bad chance for him either, as he's right on the tail of his rival, having to go defensive into the hairpin. Adam McNally, Ayres round the outside, and now going to try to nail the exit. He looks to the inside, not going to be able to defend this one is McNally, and he may as well just have made himself a little bit too vulnerable here. As they charge into the final corner, he's going to have the advantage here. Going to have to try to get the cut back here is Adam McNally. Is he going to get stopped a little bit on the apex? You know what? Ayres just got such a good run there that he might just be okay. Going to have to go defensive surely. McNally, well, he's only interested in going to the outside seemingly. Had the opportunity to go to the inside as they both run wide into turn one. And that might just be the move Ayres needs, but still, nose to tail these two drivers. But McNally's going to have to go for a dive if he's going to win this race 2 of the evening.
Yes, and I think we're going to have this lap and one more. So he's going to have to... These two guys will have 2 more laps, including this one, of course, 2 laps to sort themselves out. and they have to be careful because if they crash into each other, if they make a mistake, Richard Haynes will be there to pick up the spoils.
Yeah, Mick Barry as well. They're still fighting amongst each other, but we're going to pay our attention to
Is that
this
Warmingham
top two
also?
battle. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warmingham's got involved in that
And
one
Foggy
now.
as
He's
well.
had good pace. Yeah. Clean cars, remarkably, for those drivers. I don't really see how that's possible. You can see Ez has been a bit in the wars today. Still only 0.3 of a second, but I feel as though McNally had half a chance at turn one on the last lap, was just determined seemingly to go to the outside, despite the inside being open, and that was kind of his chance to respond. And I don't think he's going to be able to get this move done from now to the end of this race, because as you can see...
He could put the bumper on Jamie and
Yes, that
maybe
is a
get the move
choice.
done.
But he's been very, polite so far. We'll see. Will he go to that level? We've seen plenty of action so far in this one. We've only got 2 more corners in this race 2 to go before we head over to Charlotte Motorsport Speedway.
Last chance.
Still only quarters of a second between the two of them. He's going to struggle to go for a dive into the final corner. He's going to have to go bumper to bumper, I think, if he's going to win this one, as he looks to the inside. But I think Ez is just going to be able to cope. Jamie Ez is going to take his second race victory of the evening. 2 out of 2 here at Tsukuba. And that is a superb win from him. What a crazy race that was. Richard Haynes finishes in 3rd place. Barry just about holding up. Warming and Foggy's binned it across the line. That was McGlone going past as well. Didn't see a shot of him, I think, for the entire race. In O'Connor as well. Jeez. I don't know if you can remember, O'Connor was leading this race 10 minutes ago.
Yes,
It was a
yes.
time ago.
And then you put the commentator's curse on him, so...
Yes, sorry about that.
It wouldn't have been a special event, organized by Apex if we didn't put commentator's curse on 2 drivers, by the way. So, and now for something completely, unpredictable, and I think never tried before in the history of iRacing, we will transfer to Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Radicals because we can. And before that, I think I shall give you the final results of this second race here in beautiful Tsukuba in Japan. Not this one, but yes, this one. These are the race results.
Awesome. I just had the grid up there for a second. Jamie Ez wins the race. Second of the day. I don't know how he's managed to do that. He wasn't fastest in race 2, in race 1. He started 16th on the grid in this one. Wins. Adam McKnight started 15th in second. Finishes second. Richard Haynes started 12th, finishes third. There's Mick Barry, Richard Warming, good drive from him. Nicole Foggy, Lane O'Connor. Nice little cluster of XVR drivers there. There's Jordan McGlone, David Ez, and John Roberts rounding out the top 10. Roberts as well led this race. I'm exhausted after that. Anthony Ainsworth finished in 11th. I've only just realised half the grid was a lap down. Carl Hardy was a lap down, so too was Pete Van Gool, along with Benjamin Mears, Alan McCain, Robert Lundgren, Mickey Key, he led a couple of laps, Steve Hefford, Kip Stevens, and Johnny Brandon. Another 20th place for him. I don't know what happened. Actually, Mark, I don't know if we could... Not sure what lap that save from Ayres was. Really do want to see that. But I guess it's going to be difficult to find it. So we'll be back in about 25 minutes. I don't know however long it takes me to set up the session for the final race of the evening. Like I said, it's Charlotte Road in the Radical. Complete change. Going to be the starting order is going to be the finishing order of race 1, which I think is going to be really interesting. I'm not sure how quick Jamie Ez is going to be up there. He's going to be starting on pole position. You do not want to miss it. I can absolutely guarantee half an hour in the Radical. We'll be back with you, like I said, in about 25 minutes' time.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing. Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free, both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Clapman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried this contact though. Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Venner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
My name is Stephen Corpenos. I'm a senior web developer here at iRacing, and I work on the beta UI. It's funny because iRacing has been around for 10 years, but we want to keep delivering the best possible user experience to our customers, and we've found that the old UI isn't exactly what we're trying to deliver in 2018. We want to use new features and provide the best possible experience when using the sim. One of the projects that I've been working on is some custom heat racing configuration for hosted races. We've been listening to our customers. Everyone's been asking for custom heat races. Maybe you want to tweak a few things with the preset iRacing configurations. Well, now you can using the Beta UI. So once you're at the homepage of the Beta UI, you just go to create a race. Then from there you go to your set race options. And you'll notice here under event types, you can actually choose heat racing. First, I'm going to show you how to create a new format from scratch. You can choose the number of entrants. And as you can see, when I made that change, the change was actually reflected on the right side in the graph. Also, you can use the estimated duration at the bottom of the graph when you're changing the length to see what the total duration of your event will be. In addition, you can customize every aspect of the session information, practice, qualifying, heat races, consolations, and of course, the final feature race. Because the Beta UI allows us to develop features that are robust and complex, this feature will be exclusively available on the Beta UI. Once you've made all of the changes, you can hit save. Say you forgot what you selected. You can always preview it using the preview format button. We are very excited to release the brand new heat racing configuration feature that will be available in Season 3 of iRacing.
Before you can get on track, you'll need to calibrate your wheel and pedal set. You'll need to do this in iRacing even if you have already done this using your own controller software. Prior to entering the sim, make sure you've downloaded and installed the latest drivers from the manufacturer's website. Once that's done, follow these easy steps to calibrate your controller. We recommend calibrating in a test session, so pick a car and then click test. Don't go into a practice or official session. The last thing you want to do is have you go on track and crash into another car. Once you're in your test session, click on the options button. You will then see input calibration. This is where your calibration takes place. Start by clicking on the steering button. You will then be prompted to turn your wheel fully one direction and then another. Make sure you place your wheel back into its centering position before hitting done. Now, you'll be asked to turn your wheel 90 degrees to the left. Make sure it's at 90 and hold it there while hitting done. For pedals, click on the pedals button. Here you'll be asked to press the throttle all the way down and then release it. You'll do the same for the brake and clutch pedal if you have one. For the gearbox, you'll first be asked to set buttons for sequential shifting. Once complete, a prompt will ask if you have a H pattern shifter. If not, hit no. If yes, click it and you'll begin to map the gears individually. Once you've completed these steps, you are calibrated and ready.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, the final race of the evening now. Week 13 special event. And if you've noticed, it's changed a bit, changed continents for that matter. We're here at Charlotte Road. We've moved from Tsukuba to Charlotte Road. And we've changed the car as well. That's the MX-5 to the Radical SR8, the legendary Radical SR8. Fixed setup this, medium downforce setup. And the starting order of this one will be the finishing order of race 1. And we are now going to be able to go through the starting order. You also notice it's sunset. So that could play quite an important part. It's 8:30 in the evening. Jamie Ayres on pole position for this one. It's a standing start as well. On a gradient, that usually works well. Alan McNally on the front row with him there. It's Benjamin Mears, Nicole Foggy, Richard Haynes, and Richard Warving running up the top 6. The rest of the drivers will go through for you now. And Mark 8, this is going to be carnage.
I can only say one thing, and that thing is Heartburn Turn 1, which was theater of a massive wreck in the real-life NASCAR race, and it's been, problematic. And the Heartburn name is absolutely appropriate because it can cause severe, severe pain and heartburn to the drivers that crash there. And also, the entire first section is absolutely crazy. The backstretch chicane as well. The final chicane where Jimmy Johnson crashed into Martin Truex earlier this year. I cannot wait to start this race, and I think we are ready to go.
Yep, here we go. Nicole Foggy unfortunately hasn't taken the start, neither has his teammate Joey Brandon. And Jamie Ayres has jumped the starts here.
Oh god.
Chaos in these opening stages. And Ayres has jumped the start. We've got a few drivers away. Oh, we've already had a crash off the line. Carl Hardy, I think, has had an issue down there. Let's go into turn 1 here. Oh, we've had another instant. David Ayres being hit. That was by Anthony Ainsworth. But out in the lead, Richard Haynes leads this race now. He starts in 5th position.
We have a car stuck on the start-finish line. It's Carl Hardy.
Oh, he may have to pull a caution here. Where is Hardy? Oh, we've had another incident here. McCain.
Yes,
with a couple of others.
Chaotic start to the race. Oh, Adam McNally in defense. He was sitting in 2nd place there. And yeah, he destroyed his car completely. I was about to say, this Radical is not like the Mazda. You hit the wall, you hit an opponent, it's very, very fragile. As they go through the chicane for the first time.
That's a properly difficult chicane as well, but so far the drivers have got through it. Robert Lundgren up 10 places so far from 14th on the grid. Steve Hepburn just making his way through it now. Hopefully Richard Haynes isn't going to get caught out by anyone stuck on the grid. It seems like we've managed to clear the grid now, which is good. Oh, Haynes is all out of shape, and he is now into the wall, I think, as we've got side by side. This might be the battle for the lead. Haynes managed to keep it out of the wall. I don't know how he did that. Richard Warmingham now ahead of Ben Mears. So is that defending for Mears? I'm not quite sure. No, that he's actually just got past Ben Mears. So that's an important move. Richard Warmingham on a charge currently.
As you can see on the left side of your screen in the scoring tower, we had basically several casualties in this first lap. Not many drivers left on the track, and we have 28 minutes to go. Even though these guys have a faster pair, if I'm not mistaken. So, and it's so easy to lose the car, so it's not over by a long stretch.
Oh, here comes Ben Mears, had a nice slipstream. Now, this is a bit of a tight angle. Let's go into this chicane app, but you can see, as the following car, it's so difficult to pick your spot, because if you clip one of those curbs a bit too much, then that's game over, unfortunately for you. You're most likely going to end up in the wall. Currently, though, the race leader, Richard Haynes, 2 seconds out in the lead. Richard Warmingham trying to close that gap. On that last lap, he was half a second past, so he's got plenty of time to get this one done. As we go into the slightly darker part of the circuit, of course, it's just going to get darker and darker as this race goes on. This infield part of the circuit, that's going to be where it is. And Jamie Ayres, winner of race 2 and race 3. Sorry, race 1 and race 2, starts with this race 3 on pole position. I don't think it's going to be a hat trick in this evening.
Yes, let's take a look at the replay in his beautiful... Oh!
Ooh.
That was Roberts, I think. Yes, he was. McGlone also showing, yes, in the same part of the track, that final corner that brings you back basically into the left-hander, and now, oh god. And those safety cones, they lived a very short life. Mears and Warmingham once again.
Yeah, Mears is keeping up once again. This is going to be a 3-way battle for this race lead very soon. They've got a 5-second gap back to Johnny Brandon, who I didn't even think took the start. He did take the start, though, and he's up 14 places from his race start. And on that last lap was 1.3 seconds faster than the race leader. Of course, remember, part of the reason why we're running the Radical today and why we ran the Mazda, because on Apex Racing TV, we'll be covering the BSR leagues once again. On a Monday and a Tuesday, we'll have the Mazda MX-5. The Monday will be the AM Championship, I believe, as the race leader out, and Warmingham just gets his way through. Haynes might be able to carry on here, but it's very susceptible to damages, the Radical, and he's still spinning round. Richard Haynes from the race lead.
Let's get a replay of that. Coming out of the infield section.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
And if it weren't for this spin here, he would have been okay. But no, he spins it again in first gear. And he's really lost a lot of time. So Warmingham now leading the race. Mears in second. Brandon up into third.
Fantastic
what
job
save.
by Birmingham. So Birmingham, Muse, Brandon, and Richard Haynes is a little way back, 10 seconds from Johnny Brandon and Landgren with some damage, effort.
Oh, that's recent damage to Lundgren. I think that's going to be potentially race over for Robert Lundgren, unfortunately, yeah, because this car is so susceptible to damage, as I said previously. Just a bit of a knock on any of those tyres and it completely destroys the car.
And we got an orange car who's a lap down, I think. No. Yeah, Lundgren is losing positions, and here comes Nicole Foggy as well in P8.
Oh, and round goes
Landgren, yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was a replay.
No, it's not a replay.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, sorry.
Oh, someone is in the wall there. Huh?
I think that was a back marker, wasn't it?
Yes. Maybe it was Anthony
Oh,
Ainsworth.
yeah.
For position, McGlone and Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy up into P5 all of a sudden. And Haynes is into the pits. So I think Haynes may have got some necessary repairs. And, well, that's really ruled him out of this one now because it's quite a long pit lane, I believe, here. That's very disappointing to see for him. Hopefully we'll be getting back out on circuit.
Oh, he's changing the tires. No, Richard.
Still got a nice race for the lead here as Johnny Brandon goes past Benjamin Mears there. And that was surprisingly easy. I think must have just got a better run onto the oval part of the circuit. And it's now an XVR 1-2 here at Charlotte.
Let's get the gaps on the screen right now. Foggy's got 20 seconds back from Muse, so that's a long way to go for Foggy if he wants to finish on the podium. And the biggest movers of the race, Johnny Brandon, 16 places gained, 10 places for Steve Efford.
Yeah, these guys have got used to making up good positions in the Mazdas and whatnot. As I was saying earlier on, because AM Championship in the Mazda MX-5 on a Monday, Pro Championship on a Tuesday, and then on a Thursday, we've got the BSR Winter Series, and that will be in the Radical. So that is going to be great fun. I will be partaking in that. So as an AM driver, so looking forward to that. And yeah, that's going to be for 12 the entire season, plus missing around, I think, on the 27th due to Christmas.
Foggy has been posting a lap time 2 seconds quicker than Ben Muse, and we've got just over 20 minutes left in the race. So if he keeps this up and is putting purple sectors everywhere, he might go back and catch Benjamin, I think.
Yeah, might even be able to challenge the top 2 even. Especially if they come together. Warmingham so far hasn't been particularly kind to his XVR teammates, as Brandon just getting stuck behind a bit of traffic here. You can see how it's got considerably darker from now to the start of the race. Oh, this could be awkward for Brandon.
Another 2 seconds gained by Foggy. And what happened to Birmingham?
Oh dear, Richard Warming from the race lead.
Let's get a replay very quickly of that. I tell you what, this final part of the infield is catching many drivers out unawares, and he simply spins, no damage for him. So this is good, so he will be able to continue, but he lost first place, and now I think will be very quickly under pressure from Nicole Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy now 6 seconds behind as Warmingham's got more issues, seemingly. Is he going to have to go back to the pits as well? Surely not.
I think
I
the
don't know if he'd already...
front left of his car seems to be very damaged.
Did he already have that damage before the spin?
Let's see.
I think he did. There you go. You can see it, I think.
Some damage on the front left. That's absolutely true. Maybe
Yeah,
let's
so he
see
must
if
have hit a wall somewhere.
Well, of course he squeaked by the spinning leader of the race earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe he registered a contact there, and that's what caused the damage to the front left of his car. So Brandon, Muse, Foggy, McGlone, and Warmingham is in 5th out of the pits.
O'Connor just got ahead of Lundgren, by the way. That's the bats for 8th and 9th. You can see how close these guys are. Radical, very powerful slipstream. And so it really gives the opportunity for the driver just behind to challenge. Of course, long straights around this circuit as well. Plenty of opportunities to go for an overtaking move. And O'Connor, well, he's now 5.5 seconds behind Kip Stevens. So that'll be next up on his list. And on that last lap, he was 2 seconds faster than Stevens. So that one's certainly a prospective battle.
I have to say, Sam, this Swift Cooper esports livery looks absolutely gorgeous on this Radical. It gives it a proper prototype feel. I absolutely love it.
Unfortunately, I forgot to open trading paint, so I haven't got that. But I am just trying to get it now. But yeah, always do very good liveries that do that team. As Stevens just a bit slow. Very slow, in fact.
Yeah, O'Connor will pass him for sure now.
Yeah, maybe that was
Johnny
just
Brandon.
a slow down.
He was
Right,
Johnny
okay.
Brandon lapping him. As Ben Muse has got a problem. Lost second place. He's going backwards
Oh.
in the grass.
Once again, near the end. Oh, in fact, actually, it's the chicane
I think.
instead. I was expecting more incidents around this part of the track, but you can see how the rear end just getting out of shape. And into the grass. Hopefully, you won't have to make a necessary pit stop out of that.
I think he went around again. He was going very slow on the start. Ah, no, maybe it wasn't him. Oh, no, it was him, yes.
Ooh. And that's a big contact with the curb as well. So yeah, I'm questioning maybe he will have to take some repairs for that because, yeah, just a strike like that, as we've seen previously in this race, can cause enough damage for you to have to come back to the pits. Jordan McGlone, barely chatted about him so far. He's in 3rd place now. Really impressive. He is 35 seconds off the lead, but will take nothing away from him. The number 7 car, really driving well. Richard Warming up, former leader in this race. Feels like a while ago that happened now. And is going to be able to get back onto the podium though. And once again, it's an XVR 1-2-3.
Oh, the turtle curb.
Oh.
I've seen some videos on YouTube of the guys trying, you know, the Week 13 races with the MX-5 and other cars around this track, and the biggest trouble point I think was that for single car crashes was that turtle curve there, which hasn't been, you know, featured today so far, luckily, in the crashes. Warmingham went very close to losing it, but as Kip Stevens is going for a little bit of rallycross action. Oh no, no, poor safety cons. Oh, who's that?
Oh!
It's not Mikey Key, who went around as well. It was Nico Foggy.
No!
Yes, he was. Unbelievable.
Second place. McGlone's just got past Warmingham as well.
Please don't tell me.
But-
Please don't tell me.
Oh my goodness me. The exact spot.
Commentator's curse strikes again.
Well, it means that this is now
yeah.
the battle for 4th and 5th. Warmingham's into the pits, by the way.
Yes, and trying to get. Maybe he lost
I
the
think
car.
he had an incident prior. You can see the damage on that car.
This is Birmingham. Let's see.
I think he just went off the circuit. I think that was it.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing any. In the event viewer.
Hey. That's the car completely. You see, other cars you could almost get away with that, but in this one.
I tell you what, I think he damaged the car when he ran over the turtle curb earlier.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And as you can see, we have 2 cars on the lead lap. Johnny Brandon and Jordan McGlone, who has not been very fast. His best lap 1:12.6, but he has been very clean, only 1 off track. And he's been rewarded with a nice 2nd place so far, because still 40 minutes left in the race.
Yep, God tries to keep it on the circuit to the end here. Out in the lead though, Johnny Brandon absolutely dominating, as you can see, really dark now. And I don't know if we could just ride on board with these drivers, at least in the infield section. Because it's pretty difficult with the visibility now, as Brandon deals with that chicane so quick through that.
Yeah, let's get a lap on board with Johnny. And also get the add-on to show the top speed, the speed he's doing and the gears he's selecting through the circuit. Here we go.
Alright, good idea. Okay, so entering turn 1. Not quite as high speed as it used to be, but it's still a difficult one. Clipping the apex. Don't want to use all the space on the outside, but keeps it very managed there. Now this part of the circuit is really difficult. A bit of undulations, almost mid-corner around some of these. But he really keeps the car under control well, of course he can run off the circuit in this one, but and not using all the space available. And this is part of the circuit where we've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes. The rear end really goes light through this part of the circuit. Just about picking a spot. You can see how dark it is now, this circuit. But Brandon absolutely nailing his line and not risking it too much on the wall. They could have carried a little bit more speed if he really needed to. But he's got 42 seconds, of course. And of course, just getting the speed up, he'll almost certainly be flat through this next chicane. A bit of a lift, actually. Didn't feel like it that time. And then, of course, you're really carrying a lots of speed going into this final chicane. Got to be hard on the brakes. Pretty much the hardest braking point on the circuit there. So you don't want to take too much curb either. And you can see completely avoiding it. And, well, that's how you do a lap of Charlotte Roval. Pretty much nailed that one there, Johnny Brandon. Really just very managed, Marco. And that's why he hasn't crashed so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's the V8 champion for a reason. By the way, you pointed out an interesting thing, and the undulation, because usually you see infield road courses in North American ovals are very flat. So why is this infield section so up and down?
It must be man-made, I assume.
Nope. The story is very interesting because when the guys that eventually build the track bought the land to make the track, on the surface it seems like a nice even tradition very flat piece of land, perfect for creating a racetrack, no? And so they did the oval section, and then they said, okay, let's do the infield road course. And they start digging, and all of a sudden they find out that basically the infield is full of rocks and other, very hard stuff. And it basically they decided to go through with the works, but since they had to account for all these, rocky stuff on the infield section, they had to spend a lot of money to build around and over, they almost went bankrupt. And to think that Charlotte is maybe it's home to the longest NASCAR race of the season, the Coca-Cola 600. It's one of the oldest and most popular tracks on the calendar. They were this close to going under because of the fact that they spent much more money than what they were originally, thinking for the construction of the track. But it gave the track, many years later.
Oh, Brandon's dropped it, and he's into the wall. 42 seconds clear. Well, he does get a faster pair though, and that was a very interesting story, Marco. Unfortunately brought to an end by Johnny Brandon. I don't know if that counts as a curse or not. But yeah, he's gonna have to go into the pits here, does Brandon. I imagine, at least. No, he's staying out. He's got to have a meatball flag though for that. The car is completely messed up.
Get a replay of that. Man, that chicane is going to be the enemy, the new worst enemy in iRacing for a lot of drivers.
I think Brandon's just had another spin out there.
Yes, because he's losing a lot of time. Yeah, he went around, yes. Or he lost time because I just saw the gap to McLaughlin drop. Quite a significant margin once again. Here is McLaughlin entering Hartburg turn 1, and then we have Lane O'Connor who has unlapped himself, I think, from McLaughlin. So we have to see if Brandon has a meatball. I guess he has a meatball because he went, he plowed into that wall at such a high speed and a bad angle as well. But he seems to stay out, or maybe no, he's coming in. So.
Yep, so how fast is this one going to be? He's got 32 seconds lead. This one all of a sudden getting very interesting. We've seen very long pit stops so far for drivers. Like I said earlier, he's got a faster pair he can use.
He has to remember to uncheck tires and fuel, otherwise it will take a lot of time. As he is in the pist, fantastic stuff from Johnny.
Right. So,
where is McLaughlin? McLaughlin is in the chicane. Yes. The new pit exit.
Still a long way ahead.
New pit exit, which will take a lot of time to get used to, because I remember fondly the very rookie-friendly pit exit of the old version of the track, which is basically moving to the middle of the racing line and hope for the best. Look how these guys are... this car gives me the idea, when driving it as well, that you are under control, but all of a sudden it only takes one slightly wrong maneuver, or positioning your wheel the wrong way for just a second, and the car will punish you, which makes it very, very fun to drive. And just as I say that, McLaughlin goes for a ride to the grass as well. So I think, Sam, you can also... Too bad that Sam Kumo is not with us tonight because of technical problems, because if I'm not mistaken, he also had a world record at Phillip Island with this car, so could have been very interesting to hear what he thinks about the car. But you are going to drive in the championship as well, so what do you like and what you don't like about this car?
Well, it's fixed setup, so I don't have to put too much effort into it. But even if it was open, I'd still be doing it. It's just... it's a good balance, I think. Personally, my favourite car in the service is the Daytona prototype. It's got a good mix of GT and prototype. And this is kind of next up, isn't it? A little bit more prototype, a little bit less power. But yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun. It's like you said, Marco, very difficult, as Steve Heppard is finding out right now. And of course, with the fixed setup, it's very odd because you've got high speed oversteer, low speed understeer, so you're never quite sorted, whatever circuit you're on. Steve Heppard, yeah, that's how Pete finding that out. He's down into 5th place. He's just lost.
Yeah,
a
Foggy
position
went
to
by
Nico
him, yeah.
Foggy.
And we have 5 cars left, one of which is, as you can see, decidedly second-ended. Foggy, O'Connor, McGlone, and Brandon, their car is looking good.
Also visiting Tsukuba in the Thursday League later on in the season. That's going to be good
Also,
fun. Decent fun.
The Euro V8 calendar is also out, by the
Oh,
way.
that is so good, yeah.
And they are going to be racing in Japan as well, which makes me super happy. And also for the first time, I think, since I've been a commentator, they will have a race in Italy at Imola, so I'm very happy about that. Also, I don't know if you listened yesterday, but Jamie McKnight pretended that I race with him in the next Team Enduro that they do sometime in the future. So
Oh, okay.
that is going to be a disaster.
Oh, yes.
But I promised him, and Alex said you have no excuses. I will cover for you for that race, so you have to race there. So no way out for me.
I'd be willing to do. Could we put together like an Apex Racing TV team for that enduro event? I think that would be very good fun. I'm not sure who would let the side down.
Me.
I think a mixture, wouldn't it? Whoever started first would probably end the race.
Also in the chat right now, you can read Sam Kumo talking to us and explaining, the problems with the fixed setup, which has the tendency of bouncing. He said, I only did one race with this car since it switched to a fixed setup, and I was doing so good at Okayama, and then all of a sudden I lost the car and I went into the wall, and that was that. but it was good fun while it lasted. It's the problem with me, since I'm a terrible driver and I am very very prone to making mistakes. The first time you make a mistake, it's game over with this car.
Yeah,
Foggy and O'Connor for the podium.
Even just going into a gravel trap I found at Zandvoort, for example, that's enough to cause a lot of damage as Nico Foggy goes for the move on his teammate. I think teammate at least. And goes past Lane O'Connor for 3rd position. So after that crash earlier on for Foggy, could have maybe won this race if it weren't for that. Still, decent podium for him. And I think he would have probably had the best results out of anyone overall today. So well done to him.
Not a long left in the race. We've got 2 minutes and a half before the end of the 30 minutes scheduled for this final race of the evening. And also, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow the official start of the new season for Apex, even though it's still technically week 13, because the new MX-5 Monday Cup will have its official debut after the non-scoring rounds in the past few weeks. So we begin with that, and then from Tuesday on, regularly scheduled programming will go on as usual. Like you said, Tuesday the MX-5s once again. Le Mans Series, we are also going to have, that is on Wednesday of course, on Thursday the Radicals, and on Saturday the Euro V8s. Also on Thursdays we are going to have the Sim Racers World GT Series, and on Mondays also, starting in a bit, the World GT Championship, and of course for the crazy guys like me late at night on Mondays, the Rikmotech Championships, the 2 championships that they have, will be with us once again for next season. So there's a lot of stuff, and I'm also hearing a lot of a couple of new series might be brewing, as that was someone, that was Johnny Brandon making, I think, the second mistake of his race.
Yes. Should be fine, that car.
Foggy
even
unlapped himself. Foggy
Yes,
unlapped
yes.
himself. So we have 3 cars on the lead lap. And this is going to be, I think, a warning for everyone doing the Thursday series. You have to put in the practice with this car.
Yes. I'm not sure if everyone will do, though. That's what I'm hoping for, at least, so I can just go through the rest of them. Of course, we've also got the iRacing Grand Prix Championship should return as Jordan McLean. Well, he hasn't had many issues today. He's going to be able to get that car back going again, thankfully.
Well, that was the series.
Oh!
And Foggy is coming, by the way, so he has to put the car in a straight line as quickly as possible because he is facing the wrong way. Here comes Foggy. He's still a couple of corners away, so he should be good, as we are, of course, into the final lap of the race. Here comes Foggy.
Yeah, the iRacing Grand Prix Championship should be coming back. That'll be in the Renault 3.5 and on a Sunday as well. So
that was the series I was alluding to.
Yes. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say what I've just said, but there you go. Also, we're hoping that we're going to have a BSR League on a Sunday evening as well. Keep your eyes peeled on that one. But Johnny Brandon, he's coming up to the final chicane. I think we're going to see a repeat of the NASCAR event earlier on in the season. We might get a little bit of a formation finish here between him and Nicole Foggy. As they come round the final chicane, Brandon just laps his teammate once again, and he wins race 3 of the evening. Great fun this evening has been. And yeah, he takes the spoils in race 3. Well done to him. Everyone else has finished now, I think. Jordan McLean will have his lap of honour in second position. What a good job he's done. Not sure if he's doing the BSR Radical League, but he certainly should do. He seems to have a knack in this car.
Yeah, it's been very, very safe. We only lost the car once, I think, we just showed, but still, he didn't make any crazy mistake like he did, like many other drivers did. Also, O'Connor has just finished the race. Efford has parked the car. He doesn't want to bother to do the final 300 meters of the racetrack. As the night has fallen over Charlotte Motor Speedway, as McLean gets it to the final chicane and puts an end to this special event. And I have to say, Sam, congratulations on organizing all this thing, because it was a night of great fun.
Yes, absolutely. I was a bit concerned that we were going to get, you know, less than 10 guys turn up, but 10 out of 20, really good. And it was certainly good fun to commentate on, particularly those first 2 races. Maybe race 3 was a bit of a mistake in a car in track that probably no one had ever tried before. But certainly still good fun, that final racing. Awesome to show off these day-night transitions as well, and these new two circuits as well. Certainly should be great additions to the iRacing roster. But the results of race 3 of the evening, Johnny Brandon takes the spoil, a minute clear in the end of Jordan McLean in second. Nicole Foggy finishes in third place, just a lap down. Lane O'Connor in fourth, and Steve Heppard, David Ayres, Kip Stevens was 8 laps down. The top 4 were 1 lap down. Then you had Heppard 4 laps down, Ayres and Stevens 8 laps down. And then it was Warmingham 13 laps down, and 8. Then it was Key, Mears, McCain, Lundgren, Haynes, Ainsworth as winner of race 1 and race 2, remember. Then it was Roberts, McNally, and Hardy, rounding out 18 drivers there. And, well, I did say we'd be willing to have some interviews. So far, no one has joined us. So, you know, if you feel like turning up, certainly do. But, you know, get a move on as well. As Lane O'Connor just put in our Discord, wahoo! So he must be very pleased with that one. But of course, looking forward to 2019 season. Well, I think the fact that we've now got these day-night transitions, Marco, is going to be really good. We wait to see how the leagues are going to exploit them, whether we're going to have races like this, which go from kind of day to night, or whether we're going to see them accelerated. But there's certainly a lot of fun formats that we could exploit from this.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. Honestly, I cannot wait for the AI to come in as well, so I can do all the crazy stuff I had to do so far in R Factor 2. But now, if I can do it on iRacing, it's even better, because iRacing is far superior and much more user-friendly, so to speak. But yes, I mean, we have waited a long time for this, and it was absolutely worth the wait. And, you know, I think that the new tracks they put in are very interesting in the sense that can be used for a variety of series, especially Tsukuba has got many different configurations. And Charlotte Road Course, of course, a much needed upgrade over the old one. And I mean, tons of stuff then coming into the future. Of course, we are waiting for the new tire model as well. And the Formula cars are going to be, I think, a huge success. I might even try myself, and I think that everybody needs to be careful because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I tried the 3.5. It's relatively simple. You know, there's no traction issues or anything in that car. That would be great fun. Although around Monza, it's very dull. Around club circuits, though, it's a great fun. The 3.5 is an absolute beast, seemingly. It's you know, almost an F1 car, seemingly. It's absolutely superb. And yeah, hopefully we'll see those two cars on Apex Racing TV next season. And of course, next season, as Mark has already gone through, kind of starts tomorrow for the MX-5 Cup, the AM Cup. Not quite sure what it's called, actually. And then, of course, all the other series will be getting underway as well. We've pretty much got every day a broadcast on Apex Racing TV. So certainly do keep your eyes peeled. And hopefully, give it 12 weeks and we'll be back again with another one of these events. Been great fun to do. And yeah, certainly hope to see you around very soon on Apex Racing TV. But for now, from me and from Marco, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next time.